Would you tell us a little bit about what you heard about ears and how on earth are you one of our kids?
So the first advocate that was at the school, named Victoria, she seen that I was missing a lot of school because I was sick and she didn't know the full story. And so she came and talked to my parents about it, and I started going to the ears program. What was the question?
Why were you, why do you think you were referred to the program?
Because of my missed days at school, and then I had some really bad anger issues and depression.
Awesome. Cool.
The program was originally proposed to my wife and I, and we were a little skeptical. At first, because we were kind of under the impression that the program was catering to a bunch of children that had more anger problems, truancy, kids that were being expelled from school, and being that Savannah was being admitted for basically medical problems and missing so much school. That's what placed her under the truancy. So we were able to explain that to Victoria, a wonderful person who very well educated in her field. Appreciate her very much. And at that time said, we're certainly open to, we keep an open mind. We're an open family. It's we'll allow her to participate. We'll give it a few weeks and we'll go from there.
Awesome.
One of the things that Victoria told me that when Savannah had gotten in trouble, she'd actually physically harmed a student.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in self-defense, but as we all know, that really doesn't count in schools anymore. So we backed her up 100%. She never really necessarily got suspended, but she was reprimanded for defending herself, and it only made her more angry. That, well, if I can't defend myself, then why bother? And we started seeing differences at home with the depression that she was going through, with the anger that she was going through. Her family walking on eggshells. We'd ask her to do the dishes, and she'd break her knuckles on the wall of the stairs because she was, how dare you ask me to do my chore?
Mm-hmm.
And the difference, the child that I'm seeing in front of me now is not that same child.
Would you guys share a little bit about that and just what has ears and being in advocacy done for you, Savannah, if you want to share, and then I would love to hear from the parents.
Well, I've definitely noticed how my anger's gone down. With being in the ears program, I have made more friends, so I've been able to kind of talk to more people, and with being in ears, you talk to people and you it's not so much counseling, I hate counseling, but you're able to talk to them, and for my first advocate and my second, I tell them what's going on, and they'll give me advice, but they're not like a counselor. They don't tell you, well, you need to do this, or you need to do this, or just count to 10, because that makes me more angry for some reason. And and then my depression, they think I have bipolar. They're not positive yet. But I've noticed since that you can't tell that I have it anymore. Yeah. It's gone.
One of the things I wanted to add is this is my first time having it was recently 14, just recently turned 15. I got a pair of work boots that are older than 15 years, and this is the first time trying to. We weren't issued a book when we had her at the hospital that said this is what it is you can expect when your daughter turns 13, 14, 15, becomes a teenager, starts blossoming into a young woman. Sorry about that. It's a tough one. And then to come to find out, we've been invited to group parties, and got to meet a lot of the other students that are involved in Savannah's class. And it's not just our child that's out there. They're all crazy. And but the growth that we've seen in Savannah, the way that she's able to communicate more easily, that was one of the most important things that she's taken home that I've seen. It's is her making an attempt to communicate and voice her words and state her opinions. She's going to be a lawyer one day, so sometimes the way that she states her opinions and whatnot are a little, but it's when she's supporting her father when he's an old man, she's making a bunch of money as an attorney. I can deal with her opinionated statements, but she proposes them so well. So, for instance, she was 4 years old. She colored on the wall, and I got up and I said, "Mommy's going to be mad." And she's like, "Why is Mommy going to be mad?" "Well, you colored on the wall, and that's a no-no." And Savannah says, "I didn't color on the wall. Mommy colored on the wall." She produced such a convincing case, even at the age of 4 years old. To this day, I don't know why she blamed her daughter and said her daughter, because it had to have been Mommy that colored on the wall. Of course, the story that Mommy got was that Daddy colored on the wall, and so we don't have issues coloring on the wall anymore. But thank you so much for the allowing our daughter to participate and making sure this is available to so many children.
One of the things that I want to thank you with is Savannah has gone through so much loss in her life, with a total of 7 friends committing suicide over the last several years, with having her grandmother and her uncle living with us with dementia and Alzheimer's, and losing her uncle in her home, with myself being in the hospital for so long, being pregnant with her little brother and him having issues, with her having to step up and be mom, with the health issues that are still going on and her still taking that responsibility to help with her brothers and sisters. That the behavior issues that were coming out of her we thought were normal. That, well, any kid's gonna act like that. And, I'm sure that any kid who goes through that will act like that, but there's this program that you guys have set up has helped her pull her head above the water and take a breath and catch her breath and find out where she needs to be. It has helped her out enough that just recently we've had one of her cousins attempt suicide. And instead of her hiding herself away in her bedroom like she did before and holding everything inside, she talked to us. She told us what she was feeling. Now, yes, she still had that, just leave me alone, just leave me alone. Give me some time to process it. But she came and she told us what was bothering her, which is something that we've never experienced before.
So you feel that just through, being an advocacy group and engaging with the parents and engaging with her advocates, she's had Miss Victoria and Melinda, that's helped teach her how to be an amazing student and to support her in life and communication. It sounds like even bonding you as a family.
It saved her life, is the best way to put it. As a community in whole, all of us parents were worried that our kid was going to be the next one. It was, I hate using the word an epidemic, but that's what it was.
There was a pact of a few of the boys made a pact that this year this person's going to commit suicide, the next year this one's, the next year this one's. And after the second one in the pact, the third one kind of got his mind together and decided not to do it. That he actually had something to live for. And but all the parents were on edge thinking, what if my kids, because there was no list on the names, the names weren't public, it's just, the parents were just scared that their kid was on the list, that something was going to happen.
and the drugs that were available, and so many kids being on the drugs. It was like you had a choice. Do I want my kid to commit suicide? Do I want my kid to be on drugs? What was the worst one? And we didn't want to go to bed at night. We wanted to stay up and stand in her room and stand over her. And I know that sounds creepy, but we wanted to just stand there and watch her to make sure that she hadn't done something. We were to the point we wanted to keep her in our home. You can't go spend time with friends. You can't go do anything because we were scared to death of what she was going to do. And through the years of program, something that I was so leery of, afraid that it was going to make her worse because she wasn't one of those kids that was getting suspended and getting expelled. And I was afraid, well, you put her in with a bunch of those kids, that's what she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was afraid for that. So Victoria convinced us, let's do it for the first 9 weeks. If you feel it's not making a difference, you can pull her out. And it saved her life.
One of the things I want to add is Savannah is a wonderful big sister to her soon-to-be 9-year-old younger sister and AJ. She is definitely helping with the education of both, especially the 8-year-old. She's taking things that she learned through the years program and is already instilling them in her younger sister to help her deal with the things that she's going through as a young girl in the world. How to respect the space of others, how to protect the space of your own. You have your own bubble, this is what it is you're entitled to. If you don't want anybody in that bubble, you can ask them or tell them to stay. This is my personal space. And so her younger sister is already learning the things that Savannah's learning, that she's passing them down and teaching others, which is the trait of a really good big sister.
Well, I thank you guys so much. It is an absolute honor to be able to have Savannah in our program. I know that she's an absolute benefit in the advocacy group with her peers. As you said, Tony, Big Tony, the social emotional learning skills that she's been learning during advocacy is really supported and transformed her life, but it's also being carried into your home. We are just so incredibly honored and grateful that you agreed to sign her up because we have been able to support you in the amazing work that you're doing, raise an incredible young woman who's become a leader, incredibly educated, well-spoken, and not only has she become an advocate for herself, but she's an advocate for others. And we are just so grateful and blessed to be able to see the transformation. Thank you so much for your time.